Hey everyone, we start doing new things, hoping that it will change us for the better. It does change us for the better, but unless we give up a few things, unless we get rid of the toxic habits that we have, the things that we hold on to, we can never enjoy the change that we are bringing in ourselves. So, over the years, I managed to give up a few things which made my life a lot easier, a lot better. And the first thing is to stop checking for updates throughout the day on my phone. This is what we keep doing every day, isn't it? We check for updates as soon as we wake up, on our way to work, at work, after work, and even until the last moment that we sleep, we keep checking our phones. And this has made me a lot anxious. If I don't check my phone, I felt like I was missing out on something very important. In fact, I had to delete a few apps over the period of a few years to get rid of this habit. And when I finally got rid of this fear of missing out, I could find the time to do other things. Learn new skills, spend more time to read, spend more time focusing on myself and on improving myself. And when you try to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one, not even yourself. This is a quote I read somewhere, and it is absolutely true. It sounded very true to me because when I tried to please everyone around me, I ended up being unhappy, being not very satisfied with the way I was living my life. But filtering out who is your well wisher and who isn't, and only taking feedback from those people helped me understand that you don't have to please everyone for you to be happy. Sometimes we are too caught up in being liked by everyone around us that we forget what we like and what we really are, what we truly are. We forget all those things. And when you cannot say no to people, you have to put up with having to do things that you don't enjoy at all. And finally, this will make you lose the interest in doing things that you really love and like. And recognizing when to say no and how to say no can save you from a lot of disappointment and resentment. Saying no does not mean that you don't like the other person, and it doesn't mean that you're trying to hurt anyone here. You're just letting them know your limitations, what you can and what you cannot do, and what your priorities are for that time. And your friends, your well wishers, your family, whoever is with you will understand even when you say no, and they will stay with you. And when I started my days or anything without having an intention for that thing or for that day, without a direction, without a specific direction, I used to get caught up in unnecessary stuff. I ended up finishing unimportant things and leaving the most important tasks behind most of the time. So, having a clear intention of what my day is going to look like, what am I supposed to aim for, what am I looking to achieve on that particular day, and having a clear idea of what my priorities are for that day has made a lot of difference to my days, how I spend my days. And without setting an intention, I was always lost, not being able to finish important tasks. But changing this one thing helped me with prioritizing the tasks that I need to do and getting the most out of my days and getting the most important things done first. And when you have good intentions, when you know what you are inside out, you don't have to feel embarrassed, or you don't have to be afraid that you'll be embarrassed. When you have that fear of failure or the fear that you'll be embarrassed in front of people, it is hard to try anything new. We stop trying anything new at all. And most of the time, beyond this fear is a lot of opportunities that are waiting for you, and you are going to discover your abilities. And when I left this kind of fear behind, I stood up for myself. I started taking up new challenges, learning things, and growing with every step on the way. When we try to fit in and change ourselves for someone, no matter what you do, no matter how much you change, what you change about you, the way you look, whatever you change, you'll never be enough. I'm speaking this out of experience here, and no matter how much you try to fit in, there will always be some other standard that you're not measuring up to, that you're not being able to reach. So instead of trying to fit in, I started accepting myself for who I am, Knowing myself inside out is what helped me to not try to fit in. And it's easy to get caught in comparison. We have all been there. Even now, I compare myself to others sometimes. But recognizing the negative effects that comparison is having on me and my life, I stopped giving in to this habit most of the time. Because even though we have everything, even though we have everything that we need to be happy, when we compare ourselves to others, we feel unfulfilled and we feel unhappy most of the time. So, being content with whatever I have and being grateful for whatever I have is the key for real happiness and fulfillment that I found. And we find the tiniest mistakes in other people. We are ready to find fault with others, but we cannot see the biggest mistakes or faults in us. We criticize people for the way they are looking, for the way they talk, for the way they behave, or the way they do something which you don't approve of. But who are we to approve of other people? Who am I to approve someone? You have your own faults, and even I have my own faults and defects, and we don't want anyone to criticize us. So, why do we criticize others? I became more accepting of others and myself when I recognized my own faults and my own shortcomings. And giving my point of view only when it is necessary or only when it's going to help someone, that is the only time you need to criticize someone. And this is, you have to do it in the form of feedback, and that will help people improve themselves instead of putting them down. Sometimes we overlook our blessings and we focus on what we don't have, what we think we should be having. This makes us miserable even if we have the best in everything. When we stop complaining about the things and that we don't have and appreciate what we have, we'll be blessed with more. And being thankful for everything, the people you have in your life, the everything that you have, instead of focusing on the things that I don't have, made me find contentment and happiness in my life. And when I think sometimes that once I get this done, I'll be happy. Once I achieve this goal, I'll be happy. I was always trying to live in the future rather than being happy in this moment. I postpone my happiness to somewhere in the future where I cannot get to. In the past few years, I came across instances where some of my friends, some of my relatives, very close people to my family, have died at very small ages. And this made me realize the importance of living in the now, living in the present, rather than waiting to live happily with a perfect life somewhere in the future. So, when we recognize how valuable this present moment is, this is all that we have right now, we appreciate life a lot more and we enjoy life a lot more. Because living a happy life is not about having everything that you want, but to be happy with what you have, leaving behind what does not serve you, and even if that means leaving behind your toxic habits and traits, which might be what is preventing you from enjoying your life. So, I hope you'll find some traits in you which you don't like or which you think are toxic to your growth and to your happiness and well being, and leave them behind in this year. So, I'll see you in another important video right here. Until then, you take care.